But without further ado, we go down the road to the Breeders' Cup with the man who has been just lights out in these greatest stakes at Saratoga, Miguel Clement. Miguel, happy to have you aboard, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Man, what a weekend last weekend. Let's start there. How good was Deterministic?
It was very, very good. He's top class for a while, and he delivers on the biggest occasions, which is what's needed,
Walk me through that race last weekend. What stood out to you most?
Were you able to get company out of the gate?
It was a bit on the muscle, to be honest with you. I was a bit on the muscle because he's a good enough horse. It's just our job to make sure we bring him there and get it right. But he's good. He's tactical. There was more pace this time than the Manhattan, so he's 40 place. I told Kendrick, break well. First 50 yards, you go straight. Don't worry about anything else. Then you decide, do you slot in first, second, or third? If Jose goes, commits, you'd be right behind him. If another guy wants to commit as well, you'd be right there stalking. But I think you should be 1, 2, 3. And he's rateable, which is a big deal, So he broke well, and then he just, after being sent from the gates, quickly he stopped, and he was able to settle right on the hip of the leader. And I think that by using his tactical speed, it makes a big difference,
Yeah, his last few races, he had gone right to the front, 2 of those resulting in victories. And I think people were questioning, okay, is this a horse that has to get the lead to run well? Well, he proved in the Hill Prince a few starts back that he didn't have to. He proved it again last Saturday. That's got to be a wonderful thing for you to know about this horse going forward as you look ahead to the Breeders' Cup.
Yeah, true. Plus, he's versatile, which makes it great. You teach that a little bit in the mornings. If you can make them versatile, where they're not one-dimensional, it makes it so much easier for the jocks. You know what I mean? Because they can call audibles. They can make by making him versatile, it makes it so much easier. You don't have to be dependent on anybody, and you can control your own destiny in during a race, which is great. You control your trip, and speed's always dangerous here, especially on a firm turf course.
How do you teach a horse to be versatile in the mornings?
Yeah, you work them in behind, in front, upside. You teach them all the time. So we like to work one behind the other. A lot of people like to work side by side, and we actually work one in behind. So you get used to being covered up, kick back, and they wait to the stretch, and then they come out. If you would watch all our workouts, we're never really much side by side. We're always one behind the other until the stretch. So you teach one to be in front, you teach one to be settled in behind. Especially for grass, I think it makes a big difference for grass. Not so much maybe for dirt, but for grass, I think it does.
How cool was this win, and of course the last win in the Grade 1 Manhattan for Kendrick Carmouche?
That's great. It's great. We just did one of the Jonathan Kitchens golf cart segments together. And he likes to heckle me, saying he's done this his whole life to get to a Grade 1, and I did it for a week. That's okay. That's how it happened, unfortunately, with the stable dynamics and everything that took place. But anyway, it's very rewarding. He's ridden brilliantly 3 times. And that seems to be a great match,
Yeah, and he's a really fantastic rider, too, and somebody that's so much fun to be around.
48. Yeah, I agree. He's very lively, and he's got a big personality.
Miguel, you mentioned everything that's taken place. Of course, the passing of your father, my condolences there. What's it been like for you, taking the reins and moving things, continuing to keep things moving forward?
It's tough. Privately, I'm struggling a bit, to be honest with you. But, professionally, the horses are doing great. It's a well-needed distraction. The owners have been very supportive. The team has been there, and it's the same team as always. So they really stepped up. And we always focus on New York. So, it's no surprise we're having a good meet. We hibernate a lot of these good horses in the wintertime, and they should be peaking right about now. They've all had maybe 1 or 2 runs under their belt. So we're expecting to run well. And the weather's been cooperating in Saratoga, and we have a lot of turf horses. So it's been a lucky meet,
Good day yesterday, too. Tell me about Ozara.
Ozara's a good filly. She was one of our favorite serial fillies from the get-go, and is great. She's tactical. She's 3 for 3 at Saratoga. She's got speed. She's game and gutsy. The fact that we wheeled her back at 4 weeks after Monmouth, she was doing so well. She won the Gila Rose, which I was very proud of. And then since then, she again was doing well, eating well and aggressive, and I'm very, very lucky. Mr. Dobson's been a great supporter of the stables, and to reward him with this win, it's great.
Well, you've got a pretty good one going later today, too, in the Sword Dancer with Far Bridge. He's 9-5 on the morning line. Joel Rosario gets the leg up again. Tell me more about what you're seeing from this horse coming into the Sword Dancer.
We only worked him once. I think he's already been taking over with a bowling green next to him. And I don't think we have to be too tough, to be honest with you. And 12-1. And to be honest with you, I think it's fine. You get the Godolphin that terrifies me, but you can't duck anybody, especially with a good horse. And I'm looking forward to it, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? He's tactical, so him too. He's versatile. He won the Sword Dancer last year from the lead. He also won the Joe Hirsch from last with a devastating turn of foot to catch Warlock Goddess. We don't have to be too tough. You know what I mean? Whatever he wants to do, Joel can do. You know.
I hear you mentioning times as we're having this conversation. Are you watching horses train now?
Yeah, I am. I actually had one to breeze. It was not planned. Unfortunately, the set list had to change. So we had to change the set list because there was an issue on on the training tracks. We had to cancel everything. And my very amazing wife, who I'm sure you're all familiar with, working as well. Keep going a touch more if we can. We had to schedule everything. It's a Bo Liam colt I kind of like. So anyway, I'm only horse training at 9 o'clock. My luck. I had one extra left over because I was not able to make it all work. I didn't want to change the rider. I could have made it work, but I wanted to keep the same rider on the horse. And as a result, we didn't change it. I completely zoned out on your question, though, to be honest with you. What was it?
By the way, your beautiful wife, formerly Acacia Courtney, now Acacia Clement, and folks can see her on the Fox TV cover. She does a great job. She was a member of our HRRN team for a long time. How cool is that, Miguel, that you have somebody by your side that knows the game so well, like Acacia does?
Yeah, no, I'm lucky. I've got a very supportive wife, very supportive family. They all stepped up, especially recently. She takes care of everything that's not four legs. Everything that's four legs is me. Everything else that's not four legs is her. That's the stable rule and my household rule, and it works out much better that way for everybody. Sister steps in. She takes care of all the finances for the stable and all the other problems that you can imagine. Mom has been taking care of a lot more you can imagine with lawyers and immigration. I mean, all the things that you don't see behind the scenes, which is needed in a big stable. Most of it's not me, to be honest. And Dad was a bit the same, but I'm not quite good enough. I'm not good enough to take care of both. I'll be honest with you, I like to just specialize on training and horses, the team, and just deal with that, which in and of itself is full-time. And I try to have the supportive family that takes care of all the other factors so I can focus more of my efforts and time on horses. And, it seems to work for me, and I need to spend more time with my horses, you know.
Well, it's a difficult transition. I think we all understand that. But whatever you're doing, Miguel, just keep doing it because it is working and working in a big way. What gives you the confidence in Far Bridge that he walks away with a victory later today in the Sword Dancer?
I don't have confidence. He's a very good horse. He himself is nothing different, though. I mean, he's been remarkably consistent. You know, he's a neck away from being perfect this year. He's won every big turf staying race there is this year. Joel and him have like the dynamic duo. They won 5 of the last 7 races together. I mean, he's very, very good, you know.
How critical is it to get a victory in a race like the Sword Dancer that is a win and you're in, all expenses paid to the Breeders' Cup?
Yeah, financially, I'm sure it's very meaningful for the connections. So it's great in that regard. But, I mean, regardless if he wins or not, I assume he's going to be there. So, I mean, I don't know if it's really critical. It just helps out with the finances. Well, I mean, as long as the horse is doing well and he's sound and in good order, I expect us to be in the Breeders' Cup no matter what, you know?
Yeah. I know you're busy. I'm going to let you go here in a minute, but give me the game plan now moving forward for Deterministic. What do you do with him?
It's an excellent. You have 3 options. 1, you turn him straight for the Breeders' Cup Mile. 2, you go Canada, Woodbine Mile, then Breeders' Cup Mile. 3, you go Keeneland, then Breeders' Cup Mile. Everything's up to the table. Let him tell you which way to go. Between the way he's moving, his energy level, and his eating. Everything's good. Just usually sometimes he takes a little bit of time to get back to his feed tub after big races. So he'll gauge you which way he could go. And whenever he's eating well, then you start working him again. And then you make the decision, you know. But from the Manhattan, we were tough on him. Keeneland, Fort Marcy, Manhattan. That was only, I think, 4 weeks. Maybe I was lying. It might have been 5 weeks. Then the Keeneland to the Fort Marcy was 4 weeks, and then it was 5 weeks from Fort Marcy to Manhattan. And then I thought he needed a little bit of time after the Manhattan, so we did not run him here opening weekend at Saratoga in the Grade 3. I forget what it's called. and we just aimed straight to the 4-star Dave. But usually, if you listen to them, they guide you. It's a bit like yesterday, Ozara. We were in her tough. I mean, every 4 weeks, we never ducked anything. 4 weeks, bang, 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 and then she delivered. But that's because she's eating well, training well, and they kind of give you. I mean, if you believe it too much in the numbers, like speed figures and everything, like Ragasons and sheets, sometimes they tell you, hey, I think you're prone to a bounce. I get it. 9 times out of 10, they're probably right, statistically speaking. But you also have to take a little bit of the individual into account. Them well. It's great to read a form and everything else, but sometimes the horses, they're doing better or not as well as you think. You need to listen to them a little bit. That was I was very proud of yesterday because we wheeled her back at 4 weeks, and she kept improving every start as well. That's I was very proud of that. That was a little kudos, to the stable, I thought.
Miguel Clement here on the Horse Racing Radio Network. Miguel, before I let you go, Far Bridge goes in the Sword Dancer. The race before the Saratoga Oaks Invitational, Grade 2. You have Go-Go Boots for owner Bobby Flay. She'll make her debut for you in that race this afternoon. She's 7-2 on the morning line. Tell me a little bit more about her.
So honestly, it's Jonathan Edigos that trained the filly, and they did all the preparation and all the breezes, and the stable's done very little. Mr. Flay wanted to send us the filly because he wanted to run her here and keep her here afterwards, which is very kind of him. I think he's trying to bring back the good old days with Pizza Bianca. So we even reunited ourselves with Jose Ortiz. But any sort of performance today should be 100% on the credit for the whole Gosling team because they did everything, preparation and all. She came to me looking very well. And we just worked on her mental and kept her ticking over. We didn't do anything. We took her once to the gates, just to jump her for 50 yards, and that's it. And it was very simple. Just because, the gates are a bit daunting for Europeans. It's not quite the same, and you have handlers on both sides just to get her used to it. Except for that, we did the bare minimum. Just kept her happy and ticking over. We never breezed her or stressed the filly. And just keep her sweet. They take care of all the preparation, and then whenever you travel, just worry about their well-being, their appetite, their happiness level, and that's it. So I'm not as familiar with the filly as I should, and that's because it's all thanks to the Gosling team from back in England. But on form, it's a very firm turf course here, so I'm a little bit worried about that. Not for Farbridge, I'm worried about her because I think the distance might be a touch on the shorter side than what's ideal for her because I think she does stay 1.5 miles. And a mile 3/16 here might be a touch short, so I'm slightly worried about that. But I guess our job is to train, and it's Jose Ortiz's job to ride them, so he's got to figure it out, I suppose.
It's funny you started with Pizza Bianca. That was the first thing that popped into my head when I said owner Bobby Flay before I introduced Go-Go Boots. Pizza Bianca, she was so good.
No, she was very good. She had a devastating turn of foot, and she brought a lot of happiness to the stable. The stable had 7 seconds in the Breeders' Cup, and to be fair, some of these seconds were remarkable. Gio Ponte ran second to Zenyatta. I mean, in the British Classic, when she ran at one in California, so that was a great performance. Also ran second to Goldie Cove as well. Gio Ponte, the stable also ran second to Wise Dance. We've had our fair share of close misses against some of the greats. Now to finally break through and get over the hump was great with Pizza Bianca, and it was very, very, very rewarding.
Miguel, listen, I know you're busy. I appreciate you taking time, even though you're training horses. All the best later today. Let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, we'll try our best. Not easy, trust me.